to find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the out pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn, so there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NicholsOilsPros.com Xfinity Series here with Triple Bypass. It's the Harmon Racing 115, sponsored by our man, Matt Harmon, and we're at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you're having a little bit of deja vu, you probably should be. We were just here Sunday night with the Gen 4s, and now we bring the Xfinities here. We've got We've got some treats for you tonight, though. Don't worry, we've got some fun things going on commentary tonight. It is, of course, myself, Bradley Dalton, and then we have James Parfitt. We'll bring in Mr. Parfitt here in just a second, but wow, we've got things nice and pretty and tidy here. Let's go ahead as practice is finishing up. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand here. And after 10 rounds, Tyler Merritt is in the lead with 416 points, 398 points to Brad Kress, 362 to Al Corey. Matt Harmon and Ben Harcum tied at 355. Cameron Kane at 349. Mark Herzog at 340. JC John Campbell at 334. 326 with Mr. Jason Benson. And of course, the Naj Crutchley down in P10 at 278. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and take a look because qualifying is getting underway here as we sit. So as it stands, qualifying is starting. Let's get this off the board. Let's real quick take a look at our man Matt Harmon. He is, of course, tonight's race sponsor as he gets out and he gets going. Big shout out to Matt Harmon for bringing us on the Harmon Racing 115. And if you remember Sunday night, it was, of course, the Juice Box Series, and that is because that is the class that his kids race in, and Harmon Racing is the team they race for, as it makes sense. You know, Matt Harmon, Harmon Racing. I think we can put two and two together, and check out that beautiful paint scheme there on the front of his car as he gets going on a qualifying lap here around Charlotte. We've seen a lot of questions about tires go around there through the day. So as Matt Harmon gets his lap going, let's go ahead and let's look at someone else who is getting their lap going here today, and we'll bring them up right now. Little picture-in-picture action for you here as we go through from a Mr. James Parfitt as he swings it off a 4 there, and we'll let him run his lap really quick. And it's looking tidy so far. And yes, he is in the booth with me, and he is driving. Last time we did this was oh, and he loses it off at 2.
Yes.
I'm sorry, James. But good evening, my friend.
Good evening. How are we? Hope we're all well. I'll be starting at the back, clearly. That one.
That might not be a bad thing, though. Let's be honest. It might not be the worst.
No, it might not be. The track is very slippery at the moment. It takes a couple of laps to get your tyres going. You don't really want to be on the outside if you can help it. I will tell you now, because the outside is marbled city up at the moment, and there's literally hardly any grip on there. So I'm expecting some probably single file action. I don't think double running too wide is going to be ideal on the early stages, but I also think that eventually it will come to it if you're trying to make an overtake. Tyres are going to be a big issue at the moment. I've worked out I can get mine round about 30 laps before they sort of are dead. So if we get a caution round about lap 25, 28, something like that, I'll probably expect most of the people to come in. Probably easier taking rights. You probably don't need all 4, but if you just want to be safe, then it might be easier to take all 4, to be blatantly honest with you. Now, there is a little gentleman in here who I'll be having a little conversation with, I'm sure, throughout this race, of course. He is currently, where is he at this moment in time? He is in the 037, sitting in 8th. So I've got a bit of a climb from the back, but I'm sure I might visit somebody just to say hello to them a bit later on.
Oh. You know, they say race car drivers have the memories of elephants and they never forget. James, are you just proving that right tonight? Is that the goal here?
The last time I did one of these races, somebody come and tapped me just apparently to say hello, but actually put me in the wall on the pace lap. So they say about a receipt, and they mention it big in the likes of WWE. When somebody messes up, they get a receipt back, which normally ends up being a full jab to the head or something like that. I'm obviously not going to do that, but at the end of the day, there is somebody in here due a receipt, should we say? So I'm going to be, I'll be nice, because I don't want to get too involved in this, because obviously they're coming towards the end of their championship. So I will be nice, and we'll see what happens, should we say?
Okay, I know where my eyes will be through the race then, as we go around. I think everybody is getting their final laps in here that are gonna put in a lap. Pretty good size field here, 23 cars, and well, if Sunday night is anything to go off of course the Gen 4s are a little slipperier than the Xfinity most of the time. I think we're in for a good race here. So any final thoughts, James, while qualifying finishes up before we run down the grid and we get things ready to go?
No, I'm all good. I think you might see a lot of wall bands on the outside, so just keep an eye out for people sliding up on the exits.
Oh, I think it's going to be a great one here as we get things set up and ready to go. And to nobody's surprise here, it is, of course, Mr. Thumbsticks Merritt, who's going to be starting on pole. John Creedler in P2, Chad Baer in P3, Sean Bradley in 4th, Mark Herzog in P5, Brad Kress in 6th, Ben Harcum in 7th, Cameron Kane in P8, Dustin Barton up in P9, and, of course, P10 is going to be the glorious Al Corey, P11, Naj Crutchley, P12, Jason Benson. From there, we're looking down. P13, JC John Campbell, Mr. Krispy Kreme himself, Tex Nichols in P14, Will Jester, P15, Grant Parker, Glenn David and Matt Harmon on the next row, Jeff Slaughter, Tyler Ruyelas, Michael Seymour, Ward Fisher, and of course, the Mr. James Parfitt himself, all the way down in P23. I don't think he'll stay there as long as he survives turn 1, lap 1. That is the $1 million question, I believe, for all of our drivers, is turn 1, lap 1, because if you remember back to Sunday night, one more time with me here, turn 1, lap 1, they didn't actually even make it into turn 1.
I think, to be honest with you, that's going to be the difficult thing, because they are slippery. The setup is quite loose. So they've got to make sure that they get control. Now, obviously, I'm just going to sit at the back and cruise for a bit here as well. So 115 laps, it's a long lap when you're doing 30 seconds anyway. So I'm not in no rush. I just think at the end of the day, they're going to need to be quite chilled out, I think, because otherwise it could go a little bit wrong. So we're going to get this moving and see how we go.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really fun one to watch through. Is Mr. Thumbsticks will take us around here. It's one pace lap, and then we get underway, and it's just going to be a quick run around, come through 2, and get things ready to go as it stands. And did we run a caution prediction? I'm going to run a caution prediction. 2 cautions.
Oh, I've just listened to the driver briefing.
All right, well, while James listens to the driver briefing, I'm going to tell you 2 cautions. Everybody in YouTube chat, you can go ahead and chime in for me. Tell me what you think here as we come up off the run of turn number 4. We'll get ready to come around here. Of course, you have the pace car coming through. You're going to have Mr. Barney himself that is going to have the flag. It is Tyler Merritt, John Creedler on the front row, Chad Baer down in P2. There is Barney with the flag that come around into the oval. You see the restart zone there, and it is green, 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 and we are going to be underway for 115 laps here as we get going, and it is a very, very good start off the front. Everybody gets through into turn 1, and how does this go? Well, it's Tyler Merritt, Chad Baer up in front, and of course Sean Bradley through. I see a couple of things shuffling around, and where is everybody as they come through? Well, everybody's made it out of turn 2 in these Xfinity cars in one piece, and it looks like everybody in the field has made it around. Look at Mr. Parfitt trying to dive and make some moves around back here in the back of the pack, trying to find some racing action. Up 2 places early on, but jump back up front. It is single file runs. It is everybody holding on, and we have 1 lap down, 114 to go, and it's a beautiful continuation as we go through here. It is, of course, Sean Bradley, Chad Baer up a place. John Creedler is down 2 already off that race start, and of course, Mark Herzog's in. Ben Harcum is back up a place. Brad Kress is down a place, and we keep seeing all the action around. Plenty of cars trying to look for something somewhere. Ben Harcum going up the inside there in that wonderful Holy Rollers hot sauce car. Gets his way through across the in and out car. He is going to be up into P5 as we continue on here.
Yeah, it's been very interesting this start so far. We've gone up a couple of positions. Single file is what I expected. They have done that, and that's kind of what I predicted they would do. And I think at the end of the day, it's now just about settling in, trying to stay on the lead lap, not losing too much time to the guys in front, getting your braking points, and making sure that obviously you can get around the corners correctly, getting everything nestled in. I think there's going to be jostling around a little bit. A couple of people are going to be chasing positions, and I'm not really in that position. I don't really want to get too much involved in the championship up front, but let's see how far we can go. I'm normally quite confident in the Xfinities, so let's see what can happen and see how far we can get up here.
Well, you're up 3 places on the day already, James, so you can't be doing too bad as we go through. Let's ride on board with James for a moment here once we watch this moment here with John Campbell and Tex Nichols sort itself out. Mr. JC John Campbell up the inside. I tell you what, the back of the pack seems like the place to be here. Let's jump back with James really quick and just watch on board what he's seeing. And you see what he's seeing here. He is just trying to hold on to it. He's trying to keep things moving and keep things grooving as he goes down the inside. He's clear up the inside, and I'm not trying to spot for him, but I will tell you he's up 4 places already as he gets around that number 74 Will Jester, and he's going to drive the wheels off this thing as he can as we continue through. We keep things moving, we keep things grooving. We'll keep that picture in the bottom right. Somebody taps the wall there, and a whoa is said. There's James going to try to slide it up the inside. Good pass there on the 43. That is going to be Mr. Grant Parker you send your way around the inside of, and good move there. James continuing to move his way up into P18 as it stands, but checking back in with the front, and well, Dustin Barton up 6 places on the day. Early run trying to drive the wheels off the thing. You see a little loose off of 4. We're starting to see people get loose off of 4, which does not surprise me a bit, because that is really the scariest part of the track. And Cameron Kane, the cork in the bottle in it stands. You got Al Corey, Matt Harmon, Ward Fisher, Jason Benson, Naj Crutchley, all right there in the mix. I see JC John Campbell just behind them there as they hold on. Really, that is where the second half of the pack begins, is right there as we continue lap 7 of 115 going around. Still no cautions yet on the day. Everybody nice and smooth and cool and calm and collected. But it is, of course, Harmon there with getting his way around with Cameron Kane. Cameron Kane's still there. Al Corey looking for a move. Up the high side is Ward Fisher. He's up 12 places on the day. And we just continue through second verse, same as the first. It's still a little bit of jockeying for position back in the background.
Yeah, it's very difficult at the moment because we're so bunched up here. You're kind of, I'm having to brake going into the corners. Normally I would just lift and roll, but I'm actually having to apply the brake as I'm starting going in, and it's a little bit hard because at the moment the grip level on the outside isn't quite there, so they're slowly sort of moving down on you, and it's very difficult to try and get past them at the moment. You want to kind of make sure that you can stay there. I've got somebody coming up the inside at the moment who I don't really want to let go, but unfortunately I might not have a change. That middle lane's coming a little bit, and we're 10 laps in, so the middle lane's starting to move a little bit as well, which means obviously going up from the inside, the grip's starting to be there. Not quite hitting the 30s that we were. We've gone to 31s, but I think that's because we're sitting in traffic. So at the moment, we're chasing down in front of us. That's Nichols in front, who I could do with getting past, really. But at the moment, there's just no way of playing it safe to get through.
Yeah, that's the big question, and we're seeing it even at the front of the field right now with Merritt and Barton going side by side coming through the start-finish line, and Thumbsticks there in the McConey setup shop Xfinity car. He's trying to run it up the inside there, and I believe he's in a Mustang, if I'm not mistaken. He's got a Camaro to the outside of Barton, and Barton, he is up 7 places on the day. Dustin Barton trying to look for the lead here. He's driven the wheels off this thing early on, but Thumbsticks is not letting him go here as we run through, and we see just how tricky this track can get very quickly. We're only 11 laps in, too. And remember, these guys only have 3 sets of tires in the pit, so they've got to time this out just right. But they've got to think about what they're doing all the way through this race. No stage breaks, nothing crazy. Just 115 laps of what could possibly be only green flag action. So I hope everybody practiced their pit stops. I know James did, because I watched him do it there in the pre-race practice session. So I know James is nice and set up for his pit stops.
Yeah, I'm looking at really with this pit lane, because you can come off 4 and go in, but it's very, very tricky. It's easier probably coming down early out of 3. You can come down there, but you're just going to be in the way. So I think a lot of people will be running down the inside of 3 and basically trying to come in that way, but it's very tricky at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting, like, as an observer to watch, but it is really cool to get your perspective of it as you're driving as we go around and through. And I see Slaughter just made a move up there. You're up into P17, James, so just keep it nice and calm here. Keep cruising. Keep moving your way forward. You're doing well, it seems like, on the tires, on everything. Justin Barton has dropped his way back into 4th up front as we continue along. He's got John Creedler behind him. John Creedler down 3 places on the day. Brad Kress currently in 6th. He is right where he started. He's the car number 9. Don't mix that up too much. Matt Harmon there, up 10 places on the day. He's continued to run through. And of course, remember, he is our race sponsor of the night. So it would be pretty sweet to see him get a good win here today as we go. We'll see what he can do. It's a long race. There's plenty of runs, and we'll see what we can get.
Chaos.
Chaos. And yellow flag. Well, I see Ward Fisher down. I see Tyler Royales is missing his hood. What did I miss, James?
It looked like somebody got loose, and then unfortunately, kind of as he got loose, I think that was JC on the grass. If it was JC on the grass, I think, and then it just kind of all got a little bit scary in the middle. I had to. Yeah, Ward Fisher's involved as well. It got a little bit chaotic, so I had to try and duck out the way.
So it looks like what happened was Ward Fisher went up in the wall, and then when he came back down, he collected Crutch lead. Somehow Cameron Kane snakes his way through, and then Ward comes back down and collects Tyler Ruielas in the mix as well. So that is, it's a bad day for a few different cars, but thankfully I think most everyone survived through, and of course most thankfully you survived through, and you're now up into P15, so pretty good way to earn a couple places is, of course, through someone else's misfortune. Not what you ever want to see, but, you know, it happens every once in a while.
Yeah, that was quite scary from my onboard. You could just see them coming. You could just see it all kicking off, and I didn't really know which way to go. There's people pitting. I'm probably going to join them, to be blatantly honest with you. Get off this first set of tyres as well. To be honest, I'll probably just go straight all 4 just to get it changed to.
Would not blame you. It looks like I feel like I'm halfway crew chiefing and spotting for you and halfway commentating this race here. Sean Bradley stays out, John Creedler stays out, Al Corey stays out, and everybody from Merritt all the way back into the pits here as we go. And you see here on the pit lane exit, plenty of guys making their way around. Naj is coming through, getting his way back through. Ward Fisher is still in the pits, going around to see where did you go there? You're still in P17, so not bad as it stands here. We continue on. Caution flag is out. First caution of the night. We knew one of them would happen at least, so
yeah, I think the thing is as well, I've just come out and we're talking about tires, right? And you're looking at basically my right fronts were running at 90 and 87. Now we're only 17 laps in. So, oh, hold on, I've just got to get past. Who's in the 48? Nodge? Nodge,
Yep.
let me through.
that is Naj.
Right, I've got to go past Nodge apparently. So the tires were really right front heavy. So 87, 87, 90. Obviously, that's at different temperatures, 263, 261, and 260. 94s on the rear, 97s on the left, some front, some rears. So, tires probably quite heavy. You're probably looking, if you can get a good few runs out of them, a good few laps out of them, you might be all right. But I've got Cameron Kane right beside me.
You do, and we are under caution.
We are.
Oh no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cameron Kane, if you are watching the stream, sir, I do apologize. But I don't apologize for, I did nothing wrong other than be a observer of the race. So we go down the backstretch here under caution as we get ready to go. We're 1 to green. And you can see on your screen, this is, of course, the view of a Mr. James Parfitt at the moment on stream. You see he is just right beside Cameron Kane in the Crocs car. He's just hanging out nice and pretty and calm here. Nothing to be concerned about at all as we go through here, get ready for the race restart. And we are going to be Barney with the flag. He comes around. You see he switched it to the green flag there on the left-hand side. And we, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be, as soon as we get through the zone, we are green. Green. And we're back underway here for lap 19 of 115. We get away very, very well here, very, very quickly, and everybody gets away nice and pretty on that restart. And you can see even in the back of the pack here, everybody is away very, very well. JC John Campbell, a little bit loose there. Sean Bradley takes off like nobody's business. Creedler gets loose and he's up into the pack, and it's a big wreck. Al Corey comes down low, and it's going to be several cars wrecked. Oh! And that, ladies and gentlemen, was a big one. Al Corey, Cameron Kane, Mark Herzog, Grant Parker, John Creedler, Michael Seymour, and our very own James Parfitt involved as well. James, what happened?
Bro, I just couldn't get out of the way. There was cars everywhere. Catch a replay of my onboard. I literally could not go anywhere, and I just got absolutely rogered. The only thing I did manage to see in front of me was a croc car, and I may have hit the croc car, but even that wasn't on purpose.
I think there was a little tap with the croc car, and it all starts with Al Corey bumps Creedler. Creedler loses it and then comes back up into Corey, bumps into someone else, sends Herzog out into the middle of the track. I mean, there was no avoiding that for anyone, really. Michael Seymour's involved. I mean, that was... All right. John Campbell, Naj Crutchley, John Creedler, James Parfitt, Brad Kress, Michael Seymour, Tyler Ruelas, Mark Herzog, Al Corey, Grant Parker. Half of our field was involved in that one.
Yeah, and I'm stuck in the pits. It took my fast repair off my first pit stop.
No, James!
Yep, I didn't even use it. Let me see if I can get some more, see if I can get fast repairs added.
While he works on that, we are, of course, under our second caution. It's Sean Bradley and Thumbsticks Merritt in the lead. Chad Bear, Dustin Barton, row 2. So that is a fun one that we got going on here. And you see the number 13 there of Mr. Dustin Barton in the mix. Dustin Barton's been running pretty aggressive. Jeff Slaughter is back there as well, up 14 places on the night. So he's doing pretty well all the way through.
All right, I'm gonna wait. How long we got till green?
At least a couple of laps.
Because it's actually only optional, so I'm gonna dive out and see what my steering's doing and what my car's doing. I'm hoping my bonnet has been repaired though, because I just got absolutely annihilated.
Well, here, let's take a look at your car. Closer than a baby monkey picking fleas off his mother. It would make sense that you would have a saying like that on the back of your car.
Hey, don't knock it, mate. It's true.
I mean, I guess if you're reading that. So your front end does look a little beat up. How's the steering?
No different to the fact that the right hand is obviously the left right hand's naturally down. All right. It'll be speed, I think, could be my highest issue.
I could see that.
176, 177, 180 on corner exit, on corner entry. So, yeah, that's not too bad. I've got past the 160 car. I don't know who that is. That's Tyler Ruelas. Past the 84. That's Stay behind on 99. So am I actually... I am a lap down. Sad times.
Yeah, you're a lap down behind Creedler, so...
Yeah, that's all right. I got no dramas. I think we'll be all right. I'm gonna just keep doing this. I've got 2 tyre sets to go. So, we'll hang on to these for as long as we possibly can now. I'm all right on tyre wear, 96s and 97, so I'm all good. It's just whether or not it's going to have the pace to be able to stay with it. I think the thing is, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be too bad, but only one way to find out, and that's to run this race. So we're lap 23 of 115. We've got plenty of laps left to run here. Second caution on the night, and of course that caution number 2 was a big one. We'll catch another replay of that one at the end of the race, so we'll see if anything crazy happened. YouTube chat, if you have predicted more than 2 cautions, you are doing pretty well, and it looks like everyone said over 3 or at least 3, so yeah, we'll see how that happens. Tyler Ruelas was towing for 3 minutes, and it looks like he has made his way back out. He's on the lead lap, so even if he was towing, not too bad for him as we go on and we continue on here, and we just go down the back stretch behind the pace car. Sean Bradley, Tyler Merritt, Chad Bear, and Dustin Barton, your top 4. And I'm curious to see what Sean Bradley has against Thumbsticks Merritt, because, of course, Mr. Thumbsticks there is very fast on the race restart, and we'll see what he can bring. But, of course, Matt Harmon is back there a little bit as well, and, well, he's sponsoring the race tonight, so who's to say that Mr. Harmon Racing can't bring Harmon Racing into victory lane? Plenty of laps to find out as we come around here, and for the 3rd time today, we are going to be green, and we get away well. Sean Bradley jumps very, very quickly on the start. Tyler Merritt is right there. Chad Bear is right there as well, and they are side by side. Thumbsticks and Bear are side by side as they go through. Chad Bear on the inside. It looks like he is going to get that run off. Can he hold it through 2? Well, Merritt's on the outside, and he's going to say, no, I think I'm going to keep this one to myself as they go down. And he does chop the nose off of Chad Bear, gets around into 3, gets going very, very well, and he is going to be up into 2nd place. I see Slaughter dropping down the order like nobody's business. No, he's back up. Looks like that's maybe a little connection moment as we go. Let's check back in with the rest of the field here as it stands. Through the mid-pack, through the backpack, everyone seems to have it together, and it seems like everyone's trying to hold on. James has gotten ahead of Creedler. Creedler's passed it back on the inside here, and we continue on lap 25 of 115. We make it past the restart lap.
Get away! Get away!
Side by side through turn 3 they go, where they start. Oh!
Dude, we're running up.
Oh! Well, if the steering was out of alignment, I think it's back in alignment now.
It's telling me I got back out of the meatball.
Not the meatball, James. No.
Because of okay, man, corner.
I think it was Naj.
No, it was there. What was there? No, that was considerable.
Well, meatball means you got to pit for repairs, so not a lot we can do. Yeah, I would agree with you there, but you are doing the hard task of trying to commentate and drive at the same time, so kudos to you, sir, because I don't think I would be able to do that.
2 seconds. There we go.
All right, as James takes his car into the pits here, it is, of course, Thumbsticks Merritt, who's ran away over a 2nd gap already against Chad Bear. Dustin Barton right in the mix, and look who comes up the inside. Matt Harmon trying to make his pass up the inside here through turn 3. Can he make it stick is the $1 million question, and it looks like he might make it stick here. Oh, little wiggle from Barton coming out of the exit of 4, and as they go through, Barton's going to hold it high, and Matt Harmon up into P3. He's up 15 places on the day, and of course, remember, he is going to be your race sponsor here in this NicholsOilsPros.com Xfinity Series here with Triple Bypass, and he gets his way well, and now look at the back, Sean Bradley having a little bit of a duel there with Mr. Ben Harkham. and trying to get away. Looks like Harcum's going to go up the inside. Sean Bradley has been dropping down the order since the green flag has waved again here. He's trying to hold on to it, but that number 77 just doesn't seem to have the grip here as we go on. James, what's the damage? How long of a repair are we looking at?
30 seconds.
You got a meatball for 30 seconds?
Yeah, 30 seconds. If I suppose it's an option, so let's get out of car first. Stop.
I don't think that's a bad decision.
Yeah, gotta play it's more material body damage. So still getting 178 on corner coming into the entry. So getting down a bit at the moment. Let's see if the only problem with that is it causes absolute flat havoc on my tyres. So I have to see what happens there. It's going to be an interesting one. We'll see where we go. Let's do that now. Maybe a little bit longer. But we'll keep on.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay. You are 2 laps down. You're showing for me in P21, 2 laps down. So still plenty of time left in the race, though. Plenty of time to bring your race back here. It's just lap 33 of 115 as we continue on. And Harcum going down the inside here on Barton. Can he get the pass done is the big question. Of course, Dustin Barton up 5 places on the day. And I'm still keeping my eyes up front at Matt Harmon and Thumbsticks Merritt. And here goes Harcum up the inside on Dustin Barton. He's going to get that pass done for P4. And watch that gap with Harmon and Merritt as we go here, because the gap is, of course, 1.5 seconds, but it is continuing to go down little by little as this race happens. And yes, Mr. Groves, JP is racing, and it is not a Miata, but he is an MX 500 winner, so it seems appropriate to give him a shot here in a car to see what he can do. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not your night with a little bit of a iRacing glitch, and then, of course, the fun, unfortunate, big one that has to happen in pretty much every NASCAR race that ever happens on the iRacing services, and you kind of just get used to it after a little bit, I'd say. Back here in the mid-pack, plenty of action to be found afoot here, and it all starts with Mr. Benson there in P7, all the way down Jeff Slaughter, Jester, Kane, Nichols, Campbell, Crutchley, all finding themselves in the mix here. And look at that number 57 trying to find his way around. That's actually Mark Herzog. He is a lap down in the middle of all these lead lap cars trying to find his way around. And what can he do to get through? Well, at the moment, nothing. He is just trying to follow Kriegler around as it stands, and Kriegler, of course, right there in the front in that number 99. He's trying to drag Herzog with him there. Kriegler's down 1 lap, Herzog down 2 laps, and then, of course, it is Jeff Slaughter there in P8 who is trying to hold off Jester back behind him in that number 87. Or no, the number 87 is Michael Seymour. The lap down cars are snaking their way through the field. Let me make sure I can see what I'm looking at here. The 74 Jester is then just behind from there. So you got to make sure it's fun. The fun of NASCAR is when you get the lead lap and the lap down cars starting to mix themselves together. You got to make sure you keep track of what's going where, because now you've got David back here running with Mr. Parfitt, who is continuing around, and it looks like the car is at least still going.
Then I might have to dive into the bits and get some of these optionals done soon. Just had a little warning from my crew chief that my water temperatures are getting high and I'm in clean air, so I'm hoping. I've got a funny feeling my front end is a little dented.
I will confirm for you, your front end is it's a little dented, so yes. And we'll let you pit in here as we check back in up front with Ben Harcum, who is continuing to battle with Mr. Chad Bayer. This is the battle for P3, and we'll see how that battle continues. Chad Bayer just trying to hold off Harcum as we can. And, of course, keep your eye on P2. Matt Harmon there, who is 3/4 of a second now off of Thumbsticks. He's gaining. Well, can he get all the way up to the front? We'll see shortly, because that gap is now 0.6 of a second. And one of two things are happening. Harmon's driving a lot faster or Tyler Merritt's saving a little bit, which judging by the fact Merritt's last lap was a 32 flat and Harmon's was a 31.6, I'm going to lean towards there's a little bit of tire saving going on from thumbsticks. I think he knows what's coming to him, and we'll see how that balances itself out as we continue in. And James, since you're in the pits, I have a question for you from YouTube chat.
Okay.
Mr. Groves wants to know if you're excited for Caldwell to be coming to iRacing.
Is that Cadwell Park?
Yes.
Race circuit. Is that coming, is it?
Yes, I believe they just announced it today.
I haven't read the update, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I can see the point, but I would have rather it been Thruxton. I've got to be honest. I think Thruxton would have been better, but Cadwell Park, I suppose, is a step in the right direction, but yeah, Thruxton may have been better on that one, to be honest.
I don't know either of them. I'm just excited to see more tracks coming, I'm not going to lie. So that's just kind of where
I think that's the thing at the moment, isn't it? You know, people are excited for tracks. So the problem is they give you a track and then you're kind of like, yeah, and then you sit back and you think, yeah, actually, give me the fastest UK circuit, which is Thruxton. Give me that one instead. And unfortunately, they didn't. So, but listen, fair play to them. If that's what they're bringing in, then that's what they're bringing in as well. Ben should know I won the MX-5 500. He spotted for me all the way around. So there we go. I'm hoping this damage is going to get repaired soon because I'm going more laps down than I care to imagine here. And I've just got one thing left to do before I obviously vacate this session. So yeah, I'm going to try not to get in the way of the leaders coming past me at this moment in time. But yeah, I don't want to be getting involved. Yeah, I don't want to get involved with the leaders. Otherwise I will be in trouble.
How to get fired 101, brought to you by James Parfitt. Wreck the leaders.
Just go and crash into the leaders.
I don't recommend that at all, so just don't do that. And I know James won't do that, but that is of course just my professional recommendation is please don't wreck the leaders, because right now if you can't see it on your screen or on the stream, it is Merritt and Harmon separated by just a tenth and a half that are currently dueling it out for the lead here on lap 44. And I think Thumbsticks has finally opened up the throttle a little bit and is trying to give a little bit more of a run as it stands. I thought he was saving a little bit, and considering that those lap times have really evened out, I'm gonna tell you yes, he was saving just enough.
Yeah, just do me a favour. Tyler Orella said earlier on that suddenly been cutting in and out here during the broadcast. Apparently he's got the broadcast on. So you just check on the level on me there and whether or not it's spiking or not. Just that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it was a little weird earlier, but I've adjusted it and I think it's good now. So if anyone in chat wants to double check me and let me know if there's any issues with the audio through, I would greatly appreciate. Oh, Merritt into the wall here, and Harmon's going to go down low and get around him. Merritt, just not enough grip on those tires coming off of 4. Bumps the wall. Hopefully not too much damage as he's coming around, and Harmon will sneak up the inside, and your race sponsor is your race leader if he can hold on to it, and he's going to cut the nose off of Merritt. Merritt's going to try to go down low. He's not close enough to do anything, and he's going to settle back in, and new leader lap 46, Matt Harmon, with a little error from Merritt, takes over the lead, and now the question is, will he hold it? Will he run away with it? What is his game plan from here?
Well, in an ideal world, Matt Harmon really wants to try and escape if he can. But whether or not he actually does is a different story. What's he got, like 0.1 or something in front? So he's going to have to try. I think from my point of view and my car, there's not a lot of steering. I'm having to turn quite far to get around the corners, which is a little bit annoying, and I don't think I'm carrying speed. I've got a funny feeling my car is fairly bashed in at some points as well. So, yeah. I think the fact that if your fast repairs ticked, even though you don't need any repairs, iRacing takes it anyway, which is what happened to me at the first stop. So I'm probably learning from that to untick the fast repair. And when I did need it, I couldn't get it because obviously it's already taken it, which is annoying.
Yeah, it's something
annoying.
that I don't understand it. I personally don't understand it, why that is a thing that happens. I've had it absolutely ruin my race before, and I don't understand why they have that set up like that. iRacing, we should have to tick if we want to use our fast repair. It shouldn't be the other way around, that it should just auto use.
Yeah, I think even if it is ticked though, it should still determine if you actually need it. You know, I don't believe I hit anybody in that first run or touched anything in that first run or anything like that. So to all of a sudden have it say, right, well, you need your fast repair, it was a little bit rubbish. And then when I did need it, obviously I didn't have it, so a bit annoying.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would very much agree with that. But you're on track right now. You're running around. Your front end still looks like you need a pit crew member to kind of jump on it a couple of times. But it seems like you're keeping okay pace. So
yeah, it's not too bad. It's difficult on corner entry because I'm having to turn and rotate really quite earlier than I want to. And I'm having to slow down a heck of a lot more to try and get it turned and put in a lot of angles. So it is still damaged, and I think once people start cycling through for pit stops, I might dive in and take a couple of minutes or whatever to try and get some of it off. But I think in the moment it's just very, very over-rotating the wheel. I'm about 90 degrees more than what I actually want to be, or 45 degrees more than what I actually want to be. Go up the inside. So yeah, I'm a lot further up than I really, steering wise, than I really want to be at the moment.
yeah,
Normally you don't have that much. That's what I mean. Like you can rotate sort of 10 or 20 degrees to the left, but I'm kind of nearly bordering a line of almost, nearly full 90, which is frustrating.
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping tabs on it through, even if I'm not showing it on the broadcast, and it does seem like you're putting in a bit more wheel work than really we're seeing other cars. So, like, for example, Stream, this is Mr. Parfitt running through 3 and 4, right? Now, let's go in. While we've not really been looking a lot, let's check in with Mr. Chad Bear here in P2. Let's jump on board with him as he's going to come through turn 3 and 4, respectively, and see where he's at. And you see, he's only going to about 45 degrees coming through turns 3, turns 4. But then you have James, who is hitting about that 90-degree mark as we run through. So there is a pretty significant little difference there as it stands. And that can just honestly, it gets tiring after a while more than anything.
I think for me, it's just I'm extra slow off a corner. I've got where I'm trying to over-rotate the wheel. It gets very annoying because I'm now having to slow down a heck of a lot. And instead of coming through the corners at 57, 58, I'm coming through at like 49, 50. And I'm just getting absolutely eaten up by the people behind. So, oh shit, wasn't looking. Stop!
And as that happens, Matt Harmon and Chad Bear are running side by side, coming through turn 2. Who's going to come out ahead? And it does look like Matt Harmon's still trying to hold Chad Bear. We'll let James collect himself for a moment here, because we're through turn 3. Up the inside is going to go Matt Harmon. Chad Bear again, still to the outside. The lights are coming out. Lap 55 of 115 here. And he's going to squeeze them high. Harmon squeezes them very high, leaves them just enough room. But as they cross the line, it does score Chad Bear in the lead for this lap, and we continue on turns 1 and 2. Who comes out ahead at this moment? Well, it does look like it is going to be Harmon trying to hold the inside through 1 and 2. Still side by side as they come out of turn 2 here, and they keep going down the back stretch. Harmon needs to find a way in. He's going to slipstream in behind Bear. He's going to try to take the inside, but Chad Bear is going to close that inside line, and Chad Bear has secured that lead from Matt Harmon here, and we'll run with it for now. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it in the long term, but Matt Harmon now led for a little bit, now down into P2, but he's still up 16 places on the day, which is absolutely amazing of a run for him.
Yeah, I think he's doing really well at the moment, and I think it's quite interesting to see for Matt Harmon. As you say, he is plus 16. He started down in 18th. He's absolutely flying and really got that car hooked up. So it's great to see, I think, for him. And Mr. Ben Graves is right. And not only that, he's going to cook that front right. Yeah, I absolutely was. So I might just sit here for 5 minutes and enjoy some of the action, to be blatantly honest with you, because I don't think there's only one thing I've got to do left out of this session, but I might feel a little bit bad about it, considering the gentleman sitting in 6th.
I mean...
You know what I mean?
I can see that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll let you decide what needs to happen through. Remember, this isn't their final race of the season. They do have a couple more races coming through, so there are still plenty of opportunities with or without a broadcast.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, we're trying to be nice, aren't we, at the end of the day?
I mean, yeah. And there's 5 nights of racing a week, James. Don't forget that here with Triple Bypass. It's 5 nights of racing every night of the week. Or every week, 5 nights of racing. There we go.
I know, but I don't like spending too much time sat out on track. I'd rather be obviously either up in the booth or actually getting round here. Just unfortunate this broken car that I have currently didn't activate, you know, anything. I wonder if I can get any more parts repairs added. Maybe not, probably not at this late stage, to be blatantly honest. But yeah, no, it looks like it's been quite a good one for the guys up top, the guys that are actually being able to drive properly. So yeah, it looks like they're having fun.
It's been a good, enjoyable race so far. Lap 60 and 115, 2 cautions. One of them a big one, one of them a smaller one, but nevertheless, it was involved several cars. As we go through, the big point of action has been this mid-pack, really. Like, you've got Jeff Slaughter right there with Will Jester that's been trying to get past him for several laps and hasn't been able to. You've, of course, had Bear, Harmon, and Merritt up in the front that have been battling. I mean, there's been some good action all the way through the field, and I think Slaughter might finally find his way around the inside here on Jester, and right as I say that, he does. He's going to be side by side through turn 1 and turn 2, and will he make it work here on the exit of 2? It looks like Slaughter will be able to take the inside, and can Mr. JC John Campbell follow him through? He's going to try at least up the inside line. They're going to pin Mr. Jester to the high line there and probably not let him come back down until they're all through.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have gone and tucked him up on the outside. Which is what was the right thing to do. I think you've got to, while somebody's giving you room here, you've got to go and do that. Do you know what I mean? I think you've got to go and pin him against the wall. So, yeah, I think that probably isn't a bad idea for some of these guys at this moment in time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And we do have pit stops starting. So Chad Bear's into the pits here. Ben Harcum, Matt Harmon, Cameron Kane, Jason Benson is into the pits. We'll see how this plays out for them, and it is a good stop there. Chad Bear is up, right side goes up on the car, and the left side of the car comes up as well. Mr. Jason Benson is just now stopping in his pit box. JC John Campbell is coming through. Tons of drivers into the pits here, but I tell you who's still out. Thumbsticks Merritt is out. I don't know who that car is, but somebody just tapped the wall in front of Thumbsticks, and I know it is not... Who is that, actually? I'd love to be able to tell who that is that Thumbsticks is going around. So number 87, it's Michael Seymour. So he tapped the wall there coming out of 4, but he is still together and okay. Thumbsticks is snaking his way through. There's Matt Harmon. He's going to get his way around and through and out, and we'll see. Oh, Matt Harmon spins. Ooh, we caught it, though. All right, that was a little scary for a moment, but he was able to catch it and keeps going. However, he might need a fresh set of shorts. Express overnight Amazon Prime. And, well, if anyone wants to do that, you are more than welcome to, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Current leader, Tex Nichols here with Barton 2.5 seconds back here. Will Jester just a little bit further back there with Naj Crutchley going up the inside. And then you've got Fisher and Harcum that are back there as well, that are having a little bit of a scrap here that I don't believe is for position. Nope, Harcum is running in P12, and Fisher is, of course, down in P22 here as it sits. Harcum's going to run his way around. You've still got pit stop cycling. Tex Nichols is in, and Dustin Barton, Naj Crutchley, Will Jester still need to pit. as well as John Creedler. They are the ones that have not pit yet, and then Herzog, Kress, Al Corey, Michael Seymour still need to pit in. Several drivers. Mr. Parfitt is out on track, though, running his way around, and you see he is making his way nice and pretty and through, and he is currently running nice and smooth. You see the front end still a little crushed, but it's not too bad. He's trying to keep things going and grooving here as we run along. And let's check in here. Dustin Barton still in the lead there. He has that is the 160 back behind him. And that is going to be Tyler Ruielas, who is several laps down. Ben Harcum is there as well, trying to snake his way up the inside. Harcum, of course, down in P10. Last car on the lead lap, because as it sits, Barton is the leader. So as he goes around and gets his lap back, and Barton is going to stay out for another lap. Tyler Ruielas just following in right behind him here. And of course, back behind them by a second and a half is Mr. Naj Crutchley, who is running in P2. Still needs to pit himself. Will Jester does. So your leader as it cycles is Chad Bear, with Tyler Merritt currently trying to run his way up the inside of the number 60. That is going to be Tex Nichols. He has snaked his way through. Tex Nichols a lap down here, and Thumbsticks trying to run his way back towards the front. He's got 12.5 seconds to make his way through Mr. Merritt, and we'll see if he can get that McConey setup shop car around as it goes. He's going to run up the inside there of the number 88 of Slaughter. He gets his way around Slaughter. Slaughter's a lap down and continues going, and half the field on the lead lap, half the field a lap down. Some people still in the pits, some people haven't pit yet, and we are just cycling through lap 69 of 115.
Yeah, it's very tricky at the moment here currently, but I think I'm trying to avoid people and make sure I don't put them into the wall. The car feels a little bit better. I'm a little bit more able to go past, well, the speed I should be going around the corners. But I'm not making inroads on the car in front, which is a little bit annoying considering I would really like to.
Yeah, I think give it time. I think you'll make it through. You've got fresh tires and stuff on, so I think we'll be fairly okay here. You've got
and go up the inside.
As James calls for a car to pass him on the inside there. We continue around lap 71, checking in with the front of the field here, and it is a drawn-out battle here. Crutchley, Barton, side by side.
Brad, go inside.
As they go around, and of course Benson's in the mix. Oh, that's scary. They almost go 4 wide in the front, so Naj can get the lead. There's Benson, and then there is Seymour trying to make his way through as well. Everybody's still together, everybody's still going. Mr. JC John Campbell's going to try to snake his way around the inside. He wants to get back on the lead lap. Number 57 is spun. He comes back out on track, and he is down on the start-finish line. He stays low, he stays out of the way, and all the leaders make their way through as much as possible. And Mr. Naj Crutchley is right there. That number 57, of course, Mark Herzog. It looks like he's gotten back going. He's back in behind Thumbsticks as they go through. Dustin Barton there in second place. Chad Bear a little bit further back in P3, and of course Thumbsticks in fourth, and we'll see how that one plays itself out. Dustin Barton does still need to pit, so we'll see what happens with that, because once he pits, it is opened up, and as I say, once he pits, I believe, watch out there, as we have Ruielas getting in the mix with they are just getting feisty here, lap 73 of 115. We continue on and around, and Barton slides high. Ruielas into the wall, and he keeps it straight. Everybody's around. There's Slaughter. There's Harmon trying to find a way through. He's trying to pick a way through, and he's trying to go up the inside. I think he is going to make the inside work there. Matt Harmon, he finds a place in the mix as well. He's up into P4, but you do have Naj Crutchley now into the pits, locking up the tires. He gets down to speed, though, and look at this. Harmon still trying to make his way through. Merritt in second place there, and just ahead it is Chad Bear, your leader. I tell you what, for a second that got really hairy.
It looked quite scary for what I glimpsed out the corner of my eye, of course, while trying to go in the oval circle. But it's been difficult with the people coming out of the pits at the moment. I'm still having to over-rotate the wheel, which is so blinking annoying. I dread to think how many laps down I am, so you don't need to tell me. But, you know, look, we're having fun. We're driving along. Every lap I turn is more experience I gain, so that's the positive way of looking at it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's experience, it's fun, and the whole point of iRacing is to be enjoyable. The whole point of what we do here is to have fun and enjoy it. I mean, if we weren't doing that, there's no reason to do this. So, I mean, hey, just keep driving and have fun, James. That's all we can ask for some days.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I stay out of people's way.
That's also the respectable way to do that, is to just make sure, that you're not in anyone's way too much. We check out another 3 wide coming through the start-finish straight down. This is going to be Mr. Kane with Jester Harcum, and who else is that there in the mix? That's that number 9 car that is Brad Kress, who is a lap down, but you see they're all kind of getting feisty, and Cameron Kane getting very feisty, trying to find his way through this pack of cars so he can find his way forward. He's now up into 5th place as he passes Creedler, and there's somebody spinning in the background. Who was that? I believe that was not Brad Kress. I don't know who that was. But
Hey, don't blame me. That weren't me that time, Al. I'm still going, brother. Laps down, but I'm still going.
I don't know who that was, but they got back going. So no harm, no foul as we stand. Everybody's back together. Let's check in with our leaders here. Yet again in thumbsticks, trying to chase down Bear with Harmon just behind for toe.
Getting in, boys. Got a high water. Whatever that damage in front of my car, it is causing me a mass problem with water temperatures.
It is a crushed front bumper, but I wouldn't think it'd be doing that much of an issue, honestly.
Oh, it is. Every time I've gone out and every time I've ran, it keeps spiking, putting my water temperatures well up.
Man, that is weird.
Yeah, it's wherever it is, it's destroying something.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't know much, but I know that's not good.
Yeah, no, it just keeps putting the water temperature up and water temperature up and water temperature up. So I have to keep coming in and get some more damage off it that I didn't even think I hit, to be blatantly honest. But apparently, according to the car, it's still damaged. And then we'll go again. But yeah, it's been fun. Look, we've been having a chuckle.
I mean, it could have been worse. You could have just lost the entire front of your car and had 45 minutes of repairs.
Well, the thing is, if I'd have kept going with a high water temp, what's going to happen?
Blow the motor and 45 minutes of repairs.
Exactly. I'll go out in a blaze of glory with a big puff of smoke coming out my back end. So I don't want to do that. I want to be able to at least complete the race, and unfortunately it just involves the fact that it keeps telling me I've got a high water temperature. So I'm hoping once this damage is done, it's only got 45 seconds left, which is probably going to put me about 20 laps down at the moment.
Nah.
But yeah, until the damage is done, I don't want to keep having to dive back in, so I'm going to just get it finished off here. So
yeah, I don't blame you. I think that's a good decision, and I think it'll pay off in the end. And the big key is you're going to finish the race, so that's really what we got to look at.
That's the plan. If I can get at least repaired, then I might actually be able to put the times in that was in qualifying the 30s. But let's see. It's telling me I've got 8 seconds left.
Yeah,
so let's see what happens.
As we go here, lap 82 of 115 now. John Creedler in to the pits himself, the number 99 as he goes through, as James Parfitt pulls out in the 160 into the pits as well. That is going to be Tyler Ruelas, Dustin Barton in. You see they go through as James goes out. We continue through. Leader is Chad Baird. Tyler Merritt just over a second behind there, and Matt Harmon following about half a second behind him, trying to catch up. Tex Nichols there is a lap down car, so he is following through. That is not a 4-position battle as it stands. Tex Nichols P9, 1 lap down as we continue through. And of course, Slaughter is in P10, a lap down. So Nichols and Slaughter is a race for position, but Nichols racing into Matt Harmon is not a race for position. So, and if you get any questions about who's where, check that track map at the top right-hand corner, and that should help you out with figuring out who's where. And you see there on the bottom that Mr. Creedler has found his way out of the pits and is just ahead of this pack. as we go, and it doesn't look like Chad Bear has lost any time to him that I can tell, but that gap is now at a second.
Who I want to be to one Mr. Cameron Kane.
Oh, I just work here. I just work here. That's all I can tell you, sir, is I just work here.
We say rubbing is racing, right?
They do say that.
Okay.
Now, we'll tell you, Cameron Kane is currently P5 overall.
Yeah, I know. The problem is he's literally right there. You know what I mean? He's like literally, look, I'm staring at a green croc machine. Croc machine.
It is no skin off my back, whatever comes of this. I just work here, sir. All I've got for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to show Mr. Kane a little bit more respect than that. I think as much as I do owe him, we're 86 laps in and he's in 5th, and he's got points and he's fighting for a championship. So I'm just going to follow him across the line here. However, if he makes me break again like that, there might not be an option.
I think he's trying to get you past him.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to. The problem is I don't want to go round him. Well, I suppose technically I could go round him because I'm carrying a lot more speed, but I don't know.
Well,
Ask the YouTube chat and see what they tell me to do.
I will tell you, Mr. Grove said rough him up. Whether that means a little bumper tap down the backstretch, or however you want to interpret rough him up. That is the YouTube chat consensus.
Okay. Let's go.
I do think a love tap down the backstretch would be nice and appropriate for the situation.
All right.
So as they come around 2 and they come out of 2 here, going right down the back, he's going to hug right to the rear end. Not close enough for a little bit of a bumper tap yet, but he is going to hold in through 3, through 4. See what happens here. Cameron Kane takes the low side. Mr. Parfitt will take the high side. Try to hold on to it. See where they go. Oh, they're separated by a rate of knots through as they come out of turn 4. They come down into turn 1 here. And here we go yet again. Hold on to the back of them through turn 1, through turn 2. And as they come out of 2, they're going to be side by side, actually. They go around, and James is going to hold very low. Is he going to give him that lovely love tap in the love shack? And he's going to hold behind him for a little bit. So see what happens with this battle as it develops. Lap 90 of 115. We're getting towards that 25 to go territory.
Dude, I think, to be honest, as much as I love to give you the receipt that you're owed, I really couldn't take you out of 5th place, bro. Like, I just couldn't do it. I was sat there like, I could just turn in on you, but I'm not that much of an arsehole, bro. You're fighting in the championship. I'm just sat here for fun. Born as well on the broadcast, so I do apologise if you heard me.
Oh, that is a...
Hey, below, I'm driving. Tensions are high.
Listen, James gets the write-off when he's driving, okay? He gets the fun... Oh, what's that? What is it? The fun PG-13. You get one good swear word in, and you can still keep it as a PG-13.
Are we past 9 o'clock in America?
Oh, we're 10:03. We're an hour past.
Oh, bro, then I'm going to say whatever I like. Swear as much as I want. Past the watershed. Do you all?
And you can see that me and James are both slap happy. It's 10 p.m. on the eastern board where I'm at, and I believe it's about 3 a.m. for James here as it stands. And I know James has been doing broadcasts since about 9 a.m. his time today. So if he's a little slap happy, he is a robot. He doesn't sleep, even though he needs sleep.
Very rare. I think my body's got so used to surviving on about 4 hours. It's like, normal. Wakey. Oh, that was a wall, love. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, stay straight. Oh, you didn't stay straight.
Tuned into that one just in time.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
You missed it all.
Absolutely, but coming through two.
Go underneath me. Car snapped coming out of 4. Back end went. I'm dropping to the inside now. Please go high on the back stretch. I don't want anybody to hit me.
And as you see, James has great racemanship as our leaders are coming through down the back stretch. Above him here, there's thumbsticks going around. I saw Mr. Naj Crutchley in the mix as well, trying to get a pass here, and he did get his pass through. Jeff Slaughter running around. I see Mr. Ward Fisher there around the outside of Creedler, trying to find his way. This is off the exit of 2. My big question is, what can Merritt do against Chad Bear? They got 2 seconds.
Nothing.
There's nothing in the tank of that car, I fear, with 20 laps to go here. I think we're kind of seeing that this one is what it is. I think Chad Bear has just kind of got this one settled in pretty well.
Yeah, Chad's got pace for days. I think that's the scary thing with this. He's got too much speed on him. Too bad that wasn't when he was on the inside of track, Kane, learning. I think the thing is with that is, as much as I think if I'd have got there in the first 10, 15 laps and got near him, give or take, I suppose I should have probably done it when I was on the pace lap and I was right beside him. But I didn't, because I thought maybe beating him might be better. But then obviously chaos carnage commenced and the big one went off and I had repairs all over the place. And then my car got hot and I had even more repairs. And then it got hot again and I had to get even more repairs. So I suppose technically I missed my opportunity. But there'll be plenty more. There'll be plenty more for me and Cameron Kane to say hi together on the racetrack. You know what I mean? I'm not that worried about it, Ben. I just, probably missed it while I had the shot, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of races left. And I mean, if you think about what we've got going, we've got a Gen 4 Sunday that is the finale at Michigan. We've got next Tuesday, the 13th at Hickory, which is a finale. And then the 15th will be coming back here next Thursday for Michigan. So you've still got more chances. We could even come back here a week from now and just go ahead and run it for fun, depending on, of course, what happens with the championship, where things land. We'll leave that one to fate as it goes here. Thumbstick's trying to get his way through Benson and Campbell and still hasn't been able to as it goes. And, of course, Tex Nichols back there with Slaughter trying to defend. That is going to be for P9 that he's defending off of. We'll see if he can hold on to that. But the top 3 here, separated by, 2.7 seconds between Bear and Merritt. And then Tyler Merritt taps the wall. And Matt Harmon is within about 3/4 of a second there from trying to get up. But, of course, Thumbsticks is lapping Benson right now, so that is going to add a little bit of a wrench into Matt Harmon's plans of trying to get up into second place with 17 to go here.
Yeah, I think Dustin Barton's in YouTube chat. We're both sat in the pits, me and Dustin, at the moment. We're at the cafe. I'm getting a cup of tea. He's American, so he's drinking Jack Daniels. Us teetotal British people over here. We're sitting there together, just watching the cars go round our outside at the moment, me and Dustin. So, we're just chilling. We didn't need to be racing. It got too hot. It was too hot out on the race circuit, and there was just no need to be racing out there tonight. I think, me and Dustin had the right idea. It's 84 degrees out on the track, and it was just too hot. So me and Dustin spoke to each other over the radio and decided that we were just going to come and sit in the pits and watch these cars go past and see he's on the Jack and Coke.
You know what? I don't think that's a bad decision for you all.
No, I don't think so either. I think we should pull him up and have a chat with him while he's sat in the pit lane.
While we get this going here, let's find him here. Where is he hiding at?
He's in the middle there.
There we go. Dustin, it's going to be Brad and Mr. MX500, James Parfitt. How do you copy?
How's it going?
How are you, dude? You sat in the pit lane with me, mate. We're just sitting and chilling at the moment, aren't we?
I made a lot of mistakes hitting the wall there, and I just decided to park myself so I wasn't a moving traffic violation.
Yeah, unfortunately I had the same issue on the first pits when we had the first caution. My fast repair decided it was going to take it on the pit. So when we had that big one where I ended up getting caught up in it, of course I had no fast repair to use. And so of course it put me sort of 5.5 minutes of repairs. And then it just kept telling me my water temperature was hot. So I've been in and out of the pit lane like an absolute trooper. So now I'm just sat here now enjoying the rest of the action, mate. It was a bit slippery out there tonight as well, wasn't it?
I found the setup to be rather tight, but I'm not very good in these cars, if I'm being honest. I just hope I didn't wreck too many people's race there. I'm not quite sure what happened with the 99 after that first caution, but we obviously got together, and I feel real bad about that one.
Was that the big one?
Oh, that was the big one.
Oh, so I got you to thank.
Well, maybe check the replay before you say that, but I was watching the replay by multiple angles there, but along with the broadcast, and I think he came up a bit, I came down a bit, running the high side, and we got together, unfortunately.
Yeah, dude, there was cars everywhere. I didn't have anywhere to go. I thought I made it through, and then I saw Cameron Kane's croc car, which I then ended up going into the back of, which was, trust me, that weren't even on purpose this time. I know I owe him one, but that weren't on purpose. That was just complete accident. But yeah, it's been fun out there, though. I've got to be honest, these guys are super quick. Who's your money on to win? You got the thumbsticks or you got the bear boy? Who's going to win?
I'm strictly no controllers in this household, so I'm definitely pulling for anybody but thumbsticks.
Ooh, yeah, I agree.
No offense, Tyler. But thanks for the broadcast, guys. Really appreciate everything you all do. Shout out to Tex for our series sponsorship, and then Matt for the race sponsorship tonight.
Oh, man. Well, we'll jot you back down, Brian. It's been good to talk with you. We'll catch up soon.
Cheers, guys.
See, that was very nice, optimistic and that, and I think at the end of the day, as you said, if you're becoming a moving target, like I'm not going to go back out for the pits for the last 10. I'm going to let these guys fight it out. It's a bit difficult, and obviously when one simple thing makes a mistake or one simple thing happens, you end up then having to struggle when you get caught up in stuff like that. So I was just saying, I got caught up in the first one. Had about 3 minutes of optionals and 2 minutes required, and then I went out, and then we can't just get getting on. So you're backwards and forwards in and out. It just upsets everything. And there's no point me going out for the final 10. I'm just going to sit here and watch some of the racing, I think, to be blatantly honest with you, Brad. But it seems to have been a good one, and it's tough when you're on the circuit. It was. Yeah, it's been tough when it was out on the circuit, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it.
I mean, there's plenty of good racing still going, so I would agree with you on that. There's lots of action that's happened tonight. There's been some big moments. There's been some fun moments, but overall, there's still positions that are being debated out. You've got Naj here, who is still running through. He's got Tex just ahead of him that he is trying to pass for position, and then just behind he's got Will behind by about 6 seconds, but then Will Jester is tied up with John Creedler and Glenn David. So we'll see how that battle goes out. It's 8 to go here as it stands, and again, Triple Bypass just always produces good racing. It's one of the things that I will always say if someone asks me what comes to my mind when I think of Triple Bypass, it's just good racing. It's always enjoyable to watch these guys run through and see how this ends. But 8 laps to go, and I mean, I'm just saying, I offered to sell thumbsticks, my old racing setup. He declined. I had a full, over $1,000 setup. I was going to sell him for a pretty good discount. He declined. He chose to stick to the controller. Something I'll never understand. But hey, we don't call him thumbsticks for nothing. He's clearly good at what he does. He's up at P2, even though the gap is 6 seconds and continuing to open up.
Yeah, if you bring up the screen you had for me at the moment, John Creedler has just cleared Will Jester. Slaughter and Crutchley are running side by side at the moment. So if you split the screen up on that, you can see some of the people they're running. Morales is nearly getting involved in some action purely because he did try and call he was going to stay low, and he ended up going high. But Nodge and Slaughter, Nodge is on the inside now, coming out of 4, and the problem is it's going to tighten up, and Nodge naturally wants to come up 2 lanes there. Slaughter gives him room. Nodge does manage to come up as they go down into 1. So I think overall it's been quite exciting for these guys, and Nodge seems to have made his way through. So a good job from him on that one, and a great job from Nodge being able to do that. So fair play to him.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Good move from everyone, and trying to get a pass done and stay nice and clean and pretty and tidy through it. So doing a very, very good job of getting that through. 5 to go here as it stands, and we see them again going down the back stretch side by side up the inside, nice and clean through, and we continue on here. Tyler Merritt is going to cross the line here. 7 seconds is now the gap between Chad Bear and Tyler Merritt, continuing to open up, and the pace difference, 32.3 Chad Bear, 32.7 Tyler Merritt. So Chad Bear has saved just something in the tank.
Oh, JC just nearly ended up going higher into the wall then. Nudge. Oh, he did hit the wall coming out of 4. JC. Jeff's blinking around a bit, which is making it quite difficult as well. I don't want to stay on Jeff too long, but look, because at the moment, it's getting exciting.
It's getting very exciting here as we go through 3 to go officially, and let's check in with our race leader, Chad Bear. And you see Chad here. We go all the way back there to find Thumbsticks coming off of 2 right now. That is how big of a gap Chad Bear has managed to pull here. And you see Thumbsticks trying to put everything he can in that car, but there's just not enough here. 8 seconds now the gap, and it continues to open. Thumbsticks bumps the wall off of 4, going down in through the oval, and now he will be across the line. It's still 2 to go, but you see how this race, the gap opens up pretty significantly as we go through. JC's there. Back behind him, Tex Nichols is there. Just ahead is Jeff Slaughter there. And we continue to run around. We'll watch for our race leader to cross the line. He's coming out of 4 right now. And Chad Bear, you've got one little victory lap really to take. And to be frank, if you do it the same way you have everything else, shouldn't be too big of an issue. White flag here as he comes across the line.
Yeah, great run by Chad Bear, to be fair. He's sort of just been 9 seconds is literally unstoppable. So fair play to Chad as he's coming round into 3 at the moment, Brad, and I'll let you bring him over the line.
Yeah, and Chad Bear is going to take it around the inside of that number 78, and that is going to be him coming around. That was going to be a very dominating victory. He takes it across the line, and he is going to be the winner of the Harmon Racing 115 here by NickelOilPros.com, sponsored by Matt Harmon. And a big shout out to Tyler Merritt in 2nd place, and of course our man Matt Harmon, who sponsored today's race and finishes in the top 3, up 15 places on the day. So also your big mover of the day. And then of course Thumbsticks. What can you say about Thumbsticks other than just legendary driving from Thumbsticks as always?
Yeah, I think Tyler he's on a different level with a controller. I would say I'd use it for F1 22 and 23 and the games itself, but he just does a great job, and I think overall the fact that he drives on, I've tried driving on a controller when I had my wheel broke, and it was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. So yeah, I don't know how he quite manages it, does old Chad Bear. Old Tyler Merritt, sorry, but he does a great job doing it.
He does do a very good job with it, and of course, we'll get our results up here for you, and I don't think anyone's going to be surprised. Chad Bear, 10.5 seconds at the line. It was 9.5 seconds going into the final lap. 10.498 seconds at the line. Chad Bear to Tyler Merritt. Matt Harmon in P3 there. Another 12 seconds back. Sean Bradley in 4th place, Cameron Kane in P5, Ben Harcum in P6, Mr. Jason Benson in P7, the Naj Crutchley in P8, Jeff Slaughter in P9, JC John Campbell, 10th place, Tex Nichols P11, John Creedler P12, Will Jester P13, Glenn David P14, Brad Kress in 15th, Al Corey, Mark Herzog, Michael Seymour, and let's look at the rest of our finishers here. Grant Parker, Ward Fisher, Tyler Ruyelis, Dustin Barton, and Mr. James Parfitt. I've never heard of him before. First time seeing him in the series, though, but I'll tell you what, still a good run and a good persevering run from him as it went. But 23 cars started.
I was only a few laps down.
Only a few. It wasn't that bad. We've seen
Yeah,
worse.
look, 45 is fine. Jesus, stop. You know, what do you expect? Did you expect me to come out and win? Come on.
I'm just
You know what I
saying.
mean?
Hey, MX 500 winner. I would never guess anything. So
Hey, listen here, Sunshine, right? I was the one whose car was broken. So you can blame Dustin Barton for setting off the big one. There you go. I'm going to blame Dustin. What lap was even that on? There was a lot of us involved in it. What lap was it? I'm going to go back and watch it while you interview people, Brad. So you go and get whoever you want.
the big one was lap 19 if you're looking for it. So
Right.
I'll give you that
I'm going to
one.
go back. I'm going back to lap 19. You carry on.
Okay, we'll go grab our race winner here, Mr. Chad Bear. And Chad Bear decides to bear it all, and in dominating style, 10.5 seconds, win the Harmon Racing 115. Chad, how's it feel?
That's good, man. Thanks. That was a tough race. I thought I got cleaned out in lap traffic, but I don't even have any damage on my car at the end of it. I was surprised that I was able to drive away from him there on that last run.
Hearing you say that, but knowing that it was a 10.5 second gap, I have to wonder, because man, it was a good run from you there. Kind of how was the setup for you? How were the tires for you?
The setup was incredibly tight, like unbearably tight. And I don't know, the tires though, I felt like I never got the call that I was down to less than 50%, so I guess I was doing pretty good with them, but I really found that like high arc into the corner and then cutting it down almost like a Bristol groove, and it really felt like it really helped save my tires. So I don't know what it was, but it ended up working out because I thought that Tyler and Harmon were going to be right on me the whole run, and then just all of a sudden started pulling away, so it all worked out.
It did indeed all work out. And Chad, I have to ask, those first couple of cautions on the day, were you worried about those at all, or did you think those were just little flukes? I know I saw that second big one happen, and of course, I had a little bit of a unique perspective because I had a onboard of a certain someone, and then, of course, I get the fun live feed at the same time. So, you know, were you worried about a lot of cautions tonight, or was that one of those that you were like, all right, get it out of the system, we'll be fine the rest of the way?
No, I never worry about there being a lot of cautions with this bunch. Like, stuff like that happens is just a random occurrence because they, you know, I'm sure you've noticed by now, you broadcasted enough of these races, they keep it clean 90% of the time. So I knew that was going to straighten itself out and we were going to have some long runs. I didn't know it was going to be that long of a run at the end of it, but I was glad to see it because I felt like that was where I was the best at. Like, Tyler could get way out in front of me on fresh tires, but the long runs were where I really excelled at. So that's what I was glad to see.
Yeah, it was good to see it on my side too, going through. But Chad, anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go for the night?
Just shout out to everybody in the Triple Bypass League, Al and Naj, everybody that makes it work, all the admins, drivers. It's a cool bunch, man. Best league I've ever been in by a mile. So just thanks for everybody. I'll be checking out the broadcast in the morning.
Awesome. Thanks, Chad. Take it easy, enjoy your victory, and have a good night, man.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good
one. All right, and then from Chad, we're going to shift to the man who drives with thumbs, Mr. Thumbsticks Tyler Merritt. Talk me through your race.
I'll say it sucks to finish second at the same combo to Chad again for 2 seasons in a row. That's actually 2 seasons in a row I've actually finished second to him at this combo. But I don't know. I'm surprised I didn't lose I didn't lose second place in Matt. I practiced tire saving in the actual practice session, but I brake by I think 4 percentage for the race because I don't want to spin on pit road. And problem is, I didn't notice until the end of the race that I never went back down on it, like in the car. So I was running, I think, a 59% brake bias the entire time. I'm like, well, I said that kind of explains why the handling of the car was a lot tighter during the race. But I was like, that is the most disappointing second place finish, considering I know if I didn't get that damage in the second run, I could have maybe challenged Chad in the third run. Enough to where maybe he burned his tires up, maybe, or made a mistake. But it is what it is. I'm happy with second place finish. I think I have a 41-point lead over Brad now. So I'd say as long as I start the next 2 races, I believe I have the championship.
I was going to ask, what are the final championship implications for you at this race? Even though finishing second isn't the win, it's still very good. And, you know, if you have secured the championship what's the plan for the next couple of weeks?
Well, we've got Michigan, I think, next week, which, to me, I'm just going to go all out for the win. I'd say I'm gonna be. I wouldn't say I'll be butt drafting, but I'm gonna pretty much be taking as a super speedo race with some skill involved, tire saving, etc. But I'm gonna go all out next week. I've been meaning to practice a lot during the week, but I keep putting up to the night before that I don't do it. And I get home from work usually about maybe not even 30 minutes before practice opens. So I'm usually practicing as the session opens. And for the next 2 races and next season, I gotta make a better habit of actually practicing during the week. And I think if I do that, I'm going to be a lot better at tire saving. But championship implications wise, we got Michigan next week, and I think it's Nashville Fairgrounds the week after that because of the DDoS attacks that happened when we were supposed to do Nashville.
Yep.
So I think it's just I'm gonna go all out next week, and if I don't have the championship locked up after that, I'm gonna play it in Nashville. But I mean, if I have the championship locked up for next 2 weeks, I'm just gonna go all out, try to get wins, and pretty much try more aggressive in the way that I'm gonna be down bobbing people a little more often. But I'm gonna play it safe, tire saving wise, if you know what I mean. Like if I'm trying to get past a slower car, I'm just gonna send it in. And that's like I'm not gonna cause wrecks now, but I'm gonna be more aggressive in passing.
I think it makes sense. I, of course, am not the driver in the mix, so I'm not gonna...
It's more of a, I'm going to save tires, but when it comes to trying to get around lap cars or people who are on tires, I'm just going to try to get around as fast as I can, because I've noticed it usually, if it's faster to get by them in 1 lap and burn your tires up a little more, then lose maybe a second or 2 trying to get past them over 3 laps kind of thing. Which, I think in Michigan's not going to matter much, because there's going to be more driving trap. Nashville, I think, might be a survival race to me. And I think to me, I said, maybe the more aggressive driving will come into next season, but I'm just happy I might finally get a championship over here, because first full-time season, But thank you guys for the broadcast. It was amazing. I had it on for the first part of the race, but apparently my Chrome stopped playing it. So I'll have to listen to the rest of the broadcast tonight. But thanks guys for the broadcast, and I hope we'll see you next week in Michigan, or if not, maybe at Nashville.
Yeah, we'll see you. I think it's next week in Michigan. I said it earlier, so we'll see you next week,
okay,
man.
All right, see ya, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, take it easy, Tyler.
See you.
It is next week at Michigan.
Yeah, I thought I had said that earlier, and then in my head I was like, am I sure about that?
No, you are right.
Cool. Well, you know what? Let's pull in, last but not least, let's pull in the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Harmon, race sponsor of the night, finishes it up. It's Cool P3. How's it feel?
It's feeling pretty good.
How was the car driving? Because you charged 15 places on the day, man.
There in that first stint, it was handling pretty good. I found a groove, was able to get around a few people. I took some tires on that first caution, thinking that I could get back around those in front of me that didn't. But yeah, that first stint felt really good. The second stint, I burned them up trying to stay up there with Chad and thumbsticks, and just ran out of car.
Well, I'll tell you what, on the first stint when I saw you flying through, I was sitting there, and I think I even said it in the broadcast. I was like, man, it'd be cool to see Matt win it. So it was a good charge through. I'm going to ask you this question because it's something that I don't think a lot of drivers think about. Was there a big change in your car between starting in the sun and then transitioning to that nighttime racing?
To me, it felt a little tighter once it transitioned over to the night. So like I had to put a little bit more wheel into it to get it around the turns, or I was having to back off a little bit more going into it.
All right, I got you. it's interesting for me as the person who doesn't drive a lot to see the difference in the car. So, and of course you are tonight's race sponsor and you were Sunday night's race sponsor. Anything you want to talk about with Harmon Racing or Juicebox Division go-karts?
Thank y'all for doing the broadcast for us. Y'all put on a heck of a show for us, and for the juice box. That's just, I've got two sons, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. The 6-year-old actually races gas go-karts. He got to move up this year. He's in the first time in a gas go-kart going around Dirt Oval and sitting second in points. So pretty proud of him, as well as the 3-year-old driving that juice box series, which is little 24-volt electric carts, do about 10 mile an hour tops on the same dirt track. So he's out there learning, trying to do what his big brother does.
That is actually really cool. I did not know that they would let 3-year-olds race go-karts. I love that.
Yeah, we didn't know either until last year, so it's kind of like a beginner entry level, teach them the flags, the rules, things like that. They only do 2 to 3 laps because that's just all that a 3 to 4-year-old's attention span will hold. But
is he fast?
If I can keep him out of the mud, he wants to be a 4-wheel drive off-road racer versus a oval track racer, but we're going to work on that.
Let him play in the mud. That's what all kids want to do.
I mean, I can't say anything. I'm an adult and I want to play in the mud, so I can't say too much.
Yeah, play in the mud, man. How old is he, did you say, Matt?
He's 3.
Oh, man. Playing in the mud, he's probably still eating it. Maybe that's just a British kid thing where you walk out and they've got mud all around their chops and they've been eating it for ages in the garden. So, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. He likes to roll around and play in it pretty good, so I'm sure he's eating his fair share.
Probably, Matt, yeah.
Matt, before we let you go for the night, anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to shout out, the floor, sir, is yours.
Like I said before, just want to say thank you to you guys for always putting on an awesome broadcast. All the admin for Triple Bypass and what they do for us every race. And, of course, shout out to my 2 little racers, Luke and Cooper. And glad that I could actually put on a little showing for them. I told them Daddy was going to race today and had our race team as the sponsor, and I was going to try to put on a good show for them.
Well, I think you put on a real good show for them there. And very, very good run. Congrats on your P3. Thank you for sponsoring the last 2 races, sir, and we will see you at the next one.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much.
All right, James. Well, it's been a fun little night. You got any final thoughts before we send this thing off?
Make sure your fast repair isn't checked when you don't need it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That is probably very important.
You said final thought. That was it. That was my final thought.
All right, fair enough. It's bedtime for me and you both, I think. So we'll send this one off. A big shout out to Matt Harmon one more time for sponsoring this NicholsOilsPros.com Harmon Racing 115 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. James, big shout out to you for racing and commentating. I know that is a big ask sometimes, so big shout out to you for pulling that one off much better than I ever could.
Oh, man of many talents, an MX500 winner, I get to do all these things.
I'll remember that. But on behalf of Mr. MX500 himself, my name is Bradley Dalton. We've taken you start to finish here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Be sure to join us here on the JP Broadcasting Network for the next one, where we'll take you start to finish yet again. Good night.